Let's go. Let's go. I'd like to thank everybody for taking the time out their night, joining me Thursday Night Live. I am Jay Rome. This is Real Bread Life. We are everywhere: YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitch. Right now, I'm pretty sure I'm on Twitch. It's RBL Jug, RBLJUGG, if you want to check it out. So, again, I like to thank everybody on all platforms. I'm pretty sure I got it going good everywhere. So with that being said, let me go here, turn this on, that on. This is 104. We got one more week. I'm sorry. This is the last week of the month, and then we'll be in February. One of the things I wanted to talk about today, or the main thing I really wanted to talk about, was just this storm that just passed through and some of the things that happened to me, to others. You know, if you're in the business, you get it, you understand. If you're on the East Coast, or some of the Midwest got hit as well. So, like I said, I'll give people a second or two, 1 or 2 minutes to jump in, get in the rooms, and all the platforms, and I won't rush through things. Other than that, you can, if you got any questions, comments, or need help with some bread related or independent route related business, you could reach us right here at JUGG@realbreadlife.com, and we will get back to you. And if you want to join the Facebook group, it is at realbreadlife.com. On Facebook. And that's what it is. Website. Anybody need to get in touch with us or see anything on the website and navigate the website, this is what it is: www.realbreadleague.com. And again, any of the links on the YouTube page or there will guide you to everything else. So, see what we got here. Okay. Okay. Selling potato chip route. Too many expenses. Quick question. Where are you located? We'll go from there. And that, maybe, so anybody who's interested. Jersey. Okay. All right. So you're on the East Coast over here. Is it Utz or is it a Utz route or Wise? Okay. So you got both. You got both, and you have a few potential buyers. All right. Not a problem. So if you want, I know there's other groups. You can what's going on, Los? You can go to the Facebook group if you want. If you want to post it in there, join the group, and then I don't mind. You can post it in there, and any traction or anything, I'll let you know. But thanks for jumping in and sharing that information. Appreciate it. What part of Jersey, if you don't mind me asking, are you located in? Just in case anybody I know down there, because I have some people in the Jersey area, and you know, I don't know if you're in the suburbs, Newark, Jersey City, Atlantic City. So, like I was saying, so we all got hit with that snow pretty good, and it beat up a lot of stores. And for us, where I'm located, okay, Warren County. Okay, thank you. That's good to know. So now I know, and I would definitely pass the word on. So I was talking about the snow and how we got banged up over here pretty good. And what happened over the weekend was they shut down all the sales centers where we're located. I don't know how it affected others, but I'm pretty sure if it's associated with Beanbo, they shut everything down. So there was no deliveries at all on Saturdays. And then it came, the product came later, and it was in the sales center overnight on Sunday morning. And before the snow began, some guys were able to get their product, and they actually delivered before the storm hit, and it worked out pretty well. Others of us went out on that Monday after the storm, if you were able to. Everybody wasn't able to. All areas weren't paved or shoveled out, and it was bad. It's still bad out there in some neighborhoods, and in some areas there's like one clear path down the street, and a lot of neighborhood streets, depending on what city you're located in, are tight to begin with. So you couple that with people trying to shovel out their cars, throwing the snow on the sidewalk, in between the cars and into the street, and it's just a mess. It's still a mess in a lot of areas. But what I did like was certain towns and cities, they were using the payloaders, loading them in loading the snow into the dump trucks and moving it out. And we're so behind, even though we're in the Northeast, where you would think that this is a normal thing and they would be prepared for all of this snow. They're really not. I saw a video the other day, and I meant to save it, and I was going to post it up here and show the video in Canada, where they do not play. They have massive trucks. They have tractor trailer size dump trucks where they load the snow. They dump the snow into recycling facilities. They throw it back into the ocean. They just really don't play with the snow. They clean up all the cities. They make sure that the traffic doesn't stop. The cities don't shut down. And they're just really prepared. And I'm saying all that to say, for us here in the Northeast, whether it's New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Delaware, Maryland, Vermont, Massachusetts, all of these other states, Rhode Island, Maine, even Chicago and Illinois and all these other places, we spend so much money on things that don't matter. These are the things that do. And I think because it's a seasonal thing, they don't bother to prep properly for it, which blows my mind. And I don't understand when there's money spent on things that, I'm not going to say mean less, but there are, to me, are of equal importance. So, I just think that there should be some more attention paid. And again, it's seasonal. It's a couple months out of the year that you may have to deal with this. And it goes along with what I always say about having a bread route or running a bread business. You need to have a cushion and have money just in case, because just in case is going to happen. It always does, it always has, and it will continue to be so. That is the same thing as we pay for insurance on our bodies, on our lives, on our businesses, on our properties, just in case. When it comes to the body and our lives, just in case is definitely 1000% going to happen. There is no question about that. So when it comes to these other things, the powers that be should be doing the same. And that's all I got to say about that. As far as the cleanup goes, because it's a never-ending process. What um oh had okay, had to clean the top of my truck. DOT don't play around here in Clinton, New Jersey. Oh no, that's mandatory. That's everywhere. Up here, the fine is major. So I'm sure that's countrywide. That's throughout the nation. That is a thing. Over here, I got lucky. Let me tell you my story, how it happened for me, which I really did get lucky. So I went up to go and get my bread, like I said, that next day. And what happened was the company pays a company to come and clean the trucks. Those guys were up there cleaning off the company vehicles. And while they were doing so, I happened to catch them with their ladder, got up on top of my truck and shoveled it off. It was a little sunny, so it kind of was melting a little, so it worked out great. So I actually shoveled off the top of my truck. And what happened is that night it froze over. So the guys that didn't come clean their trucks off, the next day were dealing with very, very, very difficult snow. And so yeah, I got lucky. I got to clean off the top of my truck. And it was my man Bob that used to work with us. He had a nice roof rake. It was nice. Very, very, very handy. He always had it during the snowstorms. And I was thinking about him. So I lucked out. But yeah, cleaning the top of the truck is very important. I saw some trucks out today that still had frozen snow on top. And just like you said, I know the fine is severe, but if that thing flies off on the highway, it can break someone's window, cause a major accident, or a major situation on the highway. So yeah, just as a courtesy, we need to do that. And I was one of those guilty in the past of not having so much snow up there, and I'm like, it's gonna blow off, and it's just very dangerous. Yeah, you definitely could get locked up. What you said, Los? In Japan, they have built-in sprinkler systems in the ground. So when it snows, the sprinkler pops up and sprays warm water. Oh, that's ill. That's ill. Yeah, man. We're so behind over here. We don't have a sprinkler. You know what we got? We got some dangerous rock salt with chemicals that probably cause cancer and eating away at the cars, the ground. If this stuff eats up the concrete and asphalt the way it does, imagine what it's doing on the bottom of your shoes when you bring it in the house. And that's one of those reasons why I was taught a long time ago, take your shoes off when you come in my house. I take my shoes off when I come in my house. I don't like to track my shoes through anyone's house because there's so much stuff on the bottom of the shoes. And that's a whole nother story for another day, but take that lesson if you're listening to this. Don't let people come from outside and walk around on your floors. It's some shit on the bottom of their shoes, literally. All right. I usually don't cuss that much, but I think it's necessary right there. So, yeah, that's dope. Japan is way ahead right there. We got Person Bluey and okay. Let's see what we got here. Get you up out of here. Okay. So yeah, so that was one thing. And the other thing was a lot of wires showing, right? We all did good. If you went through the storm and you had bread and you had whatever product, whether it was chips, cookies, Thomas English muffins and bagels, they did actually pretty good in certain areas, probably not so. But most bread, buns, rolls, all of that stuff, thins, everything, wraps was flying off the shelves. And I don't even get into people shopping like it's the apocalypse. I don't mind. Thank you. I appreciate it. My motto is when they eat, I eat. I'm very, 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 very happy with how it went. What I wasn't happy with was, and I think someone up here said it, that, oh yeah, Beanbo still late today. Yeah, so that happened to us. We were pushed back because the bakery closed and certain days they're closed. So that pushed the product back. It was a staggered delivery with, product coming in different days. And, some people got stuff, some people didn't. But the overall, we were able to get it done. And it probably was a little bit of a logistical nightmare in certain ways, but this is what I say to that. In big business, the same way I'm talking about being prepared for what's that? The civil, whatever that is, the street department, the state, the cities, as far as their cleanup and being prepared. I think in the business, this is not the first time it snows. This is not the first time we have inclement weather. It is still the Northeast. It is still wintertime. It is still the bread business. This is not a new occurrence. Now, if this was the first time bread business was created and it snowed and people said, oh, this has never happened before, we don't know what to do, I'd understand. Not the case. Not the case. There is no reason to not be prepared. There is no reason to not have a plan A, B, C, and D. I saw a post on one of the groups, one of the bread route groups that I'm a part of, and it said, something to the effect, and I may be saying it wrong, but hey, for all of you guys that over order, this is your weekend. And somebody commented something to the effect of, well, that was a dumbass post. And it is. It is a dumbass post. And this is the reason why I believe so. Everyone orders differently. Everyone's areas are different. Everyone's sections are different. Whatever the case may be. How you order is how you order. Some people will say, yeah, that's good. The people no, there's not. That doesn't even make any sense. You order how you order. It's going to go how it's going to go. And if you understand the ordering, if you're in the business, every company's different. Some have a 3-day window. Some have a 5-day window. Some have a 2-day window. Some companies, you can order and get the product in 2 days or maybe 3. But us, it doesn't work that way. It's about 5 to 6 days, depending on what time of the day it is. So I actually had this thing where last week I looked and they said it's going to snow again. And we don't know the extent of how this snow is going to be. I heard today, again in the Northeast, I heard that it's going to miss us. We're not getting anything. That means nothing on Thursday because the wind can blow tonight a different way. And we're getting all the snow that was out there going to the ocean is coming on land. It happens just that quick. So I don't buy into that. I don't subscribe to what they're saying. Last week when they were talking about the storm, the weatherman, whoever, it was him and a woman said, okay, so Jim, how much snow are we getting? He said, well, we don't want to really talk numbers right now. At this point, we'll just say that it's coming and we'll let you know. And I'm like, what the hell? This is where we're at now? We don't even know. And it's not even about being wrong. It used to be, it's going to be X, Y, Z, and this is what's forecasted to happen. And just say it changed. They're not even committing to the numbers these days. They're scared to commit to the numbers. Yeah. My man Los, he said, I want to give thanks for Martin's, Beanbo, and Schmitz for my extra sales. Hey, man, you're welcome. You're very welcome. Because what he's saying is he had product every day. He had his stacks in there. Yeah, man. You were ready. And you're absolutely right. Just be ready just in case. Yeah, absolutely, man. We not I say this all the time. I order how I order, and I cut back one weekend a while back. I went on vacation and cut back on my orders, and we got banged up. And this is what I talked about this a few weeks ago. This whole after the holidays, it slows down. Don't order so much. Cut back. Fall back. That's all a lie. It was one of the busiest weekends right after Thanksgiving. It was a busy weekend after Christmas. So I don't even do that anymore. I know I'm not listening to people about what they think and how their route is. I know how mine's is, and I order accordingly. I got this email the other day talking about my freshness was up too much. I'm not putting enough product. I'm putting enough product in. I just kind of know how to order. That's what it is. A little bit. I kind of know what I'm doing a little bit in certain stores. Sometimes I say this also in some stores I can't guess right. I can't. I just can't get it right. Sometimes it is too much or too little. And now I just make sure I got it. I'm going to take that stale out regardless. It's going to come out. With that being said, I was supposed to have a display up, and actually it's going up Monday. I'm getting extra product because of the Super Bowl. We're pushing some rolls, got these 16s going out. If anybody else has got that, if you're doing Beambo bread, you should know. Got the Arnold display and the ballpark 16s right in the front of BJ's. So they should do very well. And even if people were planning on buying the cheaper rolls, when you walk in the store and you see, those 16s looking nice on display, like I will have them, I'll make some sales. That's the plan. But, as far as the Super Bowl goes, I heard some debates about it's not going to be busy. It's not two teams that people like. They are lying to you. It is the New England Patriots. With all this controversy about Belichick not getting into the Hall of Fame, and he's got 6 rings as a coach and 2 as a coordinator. Brady's got 7, 6 with them, and 1 in Tampa Bay. So, and now he's an announcer, and all this attention on the team because of the Belichick thing. There's going to be a lot of people watching the Super Bowl. Regardless of what anybody else says, it's still the Super Bowl. It's football. There is nothing as big as the Super Bowl. I don't care where you're at, what you're doing in this country. When that thing is on, viewership is ridiculous. And not to mention the halftime show. No matter who's doing it, it's a big deal. So, yeah. Darnold wins a Super Bowl. Jets fan there. Hey, man, I respect that you're still supporting them even though they got rid of them. That's so dope. Yeah, man. I respect that you're supporting them because they didn't want them. I know they're kicking themselves in the ass right now. They just can't get it right, man. For you to be a Jets fan, I wish you luck, brother, because they just cannot get it right at all. They have the worst luck. And they're going to get a good pick again this year. And they keep wasting them on quarterbacks. They could have built a super line, offensive line, and then paid a seasoned quarterback, which they tried to do with Aaron Rodgers. I'm not going to lie to you, but him and Salah couldn't get along. And, I think he's the poison, but I'm going to stick to bread. Kyler Murray is coming. That wouldn't be a bad pickup right there. That would not be a bad. The good thing about having Kyler Murray is you have to have the right offensive coordinator that can run plays for Kyler Murray. He can throw, and he's gonna scamper and he's gonna scramble, but he's got a cannon. The guy's a baseball player. He has a cannon. If you call the right plays and you have the right line to protect him, because remember, they had a decent line before a few of them started getting hurt over there, and he was doing pretty good. So, but yeah, I think they'll be all right. But the Super Bowl is the Super Bowl. I mean, all of that is not going to be big. Is just beyond comprehension for me. I'm sure it's going to be big, and the sales are going to be what the sales are going to be. This is still that season, so I don't want people to get discouraged. The other good thing is we had the storm last week. Now we come into this week and maybe more snow, but it's the beginning of the month. So how do you go light? You can't go light. It's the beginning of the month with the possibility of snow. Those two things together, bread man's dream. Bread man's dream. Which store is the biggest? Is my biggest one? My biggest is going to be BJ's. I have 6 racks in there. I have 6 racks in there. I fill, and I split one with someone. I think I split one with 2 shelves, or 2 or 3 shelves on one of them is the flowers guy, and I split that with him, and then there's another one I split with the Martins guy. So other than that, I have 6, and the top shelf on 2 of them, I split one. There's a shelf for Martins and one for flowers. They have their rolls on the top. Other than that, I'm loaded and I go heavy. And I did get beat up in there. I'm not gonna lie, but that was the cuts from the company, that the truck wasn't there, and the product didn't come. Not that they did anything bad. It just nothing was moving. And actually walked in today, still had product, even without getting a delivery. So it was fine. Everything worked out well. And I'm heavy. I got heavy product coming tomorrow. I got heavy product coming Saturday, which is going to run me all the way through next week into next weekend. So I'm very well prepared, and it should be a good week. I'm anticipating a very, very good week. You know, people get their the benefits and all that stuff at the beginning of the month, the elderly and veterans and people on disability. So it's so much money going to be moving around. And in certain businesses, I know this is that the pay week for people that get paid every other week. So we're set up to win. We're set up to win. If you put yourself in position to win, you should. You know, so what do you say here? Flint Marco, what's going on, man? Long time I ain't heard from you. Wholesale stores like BJ's, Costco, and Sam's Club, it's like hitting the jackpot for bread. Yeah, man, definitely. Really good bang for your buck. Yeah, you cannot go wrong. Cannot go wrong. Yeah, Super Bowl Sunday. Yeah, so that's one of the things, and I've said this before. I go to not all of my stores, but I'm out every day. We don't deliver Sunday, we don't deliver Wednesday, but I'm in the stores. I have this thing about pulling my bread forward, rotating it, or at least putting up what I have in the back. And if there's something going on, if I have a previous engagement or I have something I got to do on a Sunday morning or a Wednesday morning, I will go out Saturday night before the store closes or Tuesday night before the store closes. I do not mess around with my money. I don't play with my money at all. Only time I will not go out, and this is no lie, if I know for a fact nothing is moving. Like I know it has to be dead, super dead. And I got people in the stores, and that's just the relationships I have. I can call the bakery in my biggest stores and check with them, and the Walmart and the BJ's, and those are the main one. Like I said, the one I just talked about, the 6 racks in, I have to make sure I take care of that store all the time. It is the top producer in the state. So for me, in our state, and then, you know, anybody want check the numbers, it is. So that's what it is. So I make sure I'm proud of that, and I keep that going. Now, I'm not going to be out there in the evening time. You know, this will be in the daytime early, you know. So that's yeah, you're absolutely right. You know, got to do them pull-ups as part of the bread game. Yeah, man, that's real. And I give that information, and we talk about that when I do consultation for people, and when I'm doing certain courses and stuff, when people ask me and when they say that to me, they're like, every time, oh, absolutely. I was taught and told when I first got into the business by John Ritchie, the guys that do well in this business are the ones that go to their stores and the ones that come back to the depot and get on the computer and adjust their orders after they've left their stores and they see exactly what they need. And I don't use the computers in the sales center that often unless it's one of those days when I know I have a small window and it's going to close out before I get home. But other than that, I'm always in my orders all the time. I'm always making adjustments with either up or down. And there's days I've cut product out of a whole day because I just didn't need it that day for whatever reason, and I'll have it come in the next day. The other thing is I may have something come in when I don't need it because I don't want to I don't want to have the chance of it getting cut later in the week. It's just so many different variables in the way I order and the way I do business. And it works for me because I may need the stuff for Friday or Saturday and I'm going to get it on Tuesday to be sure I have it. Some of it at least on Tuesday, because if I get it cut on Friday or Saturday, I'm hit and there's nothing I can do. So, yeah. So, um, for a bread route, you have to be at the warehouse every morning. Absolutely. Yeah, that's a fact right there. There's no way around that. I was just saying that to someone there. We don't get the I'm taking a day off today. You can, but you need to have that jumper in place or that route runner or that relief as they call it. So there is no just, call out. You can, but if you don't go Monday, when you show up Tuesday, Monday and Tuesday's bread will be sitting there waiting for you. And that's for the guys that don't do what we do, just giving them some information about this business. It will be there waiting for you. So yeah, you are absolutely right. We definitely got to take care of the majors. It's a big deal. Not that everybody's all store or all businesses don't get attention, but the majors are major just for that reason. And they don't play. Companies do not mess around with business and BJ's, Walmart, and your Sam's Clubs, and you down south the Publix and those stores. They're not messing around with that. They don't want to lose that business. These are chains that are nationwide, and they do not want to mess that business relationship up. So that's a big deal. We want to make sure that, you don't want to get a breach letter for something that was trivial or something that was easy to maintain or fix. I just know that, yeah, it's not worth it. Just not worth it. So yeah, we always want to make sure we're doing good business. So I don't want anyone to have this thing where they look at it as it like it doesn't matter. We always say cutting corners. We don't cut corners, and we treat it like a business. And if you do good business, the business will do good by you. What's that? Flowers guy here. I got my Monday product on Saturday evening before the storm was delivered. Got to take off until Wednesday when our Tuesday load finally arrived. Yeah, man, that's what's up, man. I respect that so much, Alex. That's dope. You just have to, if you know it's coming and you have a chance to order properly, that's what you do. That's what you do. You definitely make those adjustments. And again, you guessed correctly. You did it right. You didn't leave yourself stuck. I salute that. That's a good move right there. Very good move. Yeah. Yeah. Jump the gun a little bit. And that's one of the things that, like I said, that nothing was moving. They had the depot or the sales centers was closed for us. It was no delivery, it wasn't open. But because the product came Saturday night and it was there for Sunday, Some had the option, you could get there. Now the sales centers closed because the company was closed, because there's union guys and there's company guys that they're not working, and everybody else for the company was not there. But we're independent. You can go drive your truck if you want to, So yes. And that's what they did for us too as well. Like, you're right. Company came in clutch, sent the product early. They had it there, and it was on you. What you want to do is up to you. They're not telling you to. They're not telling you not to. You're an independent operator. You want to operate, go ahead. And that's one of the benefits of being such, right? You have the option to make those decisions. Some people aren't built to make those decisions, and some people just don't want to make them anymore. I know people that used to work for themselves and now they work for the company, and that's not a bad thing. It's not. Some people, I know a couple guys that worked for themselves for about 15 years and didn't have a 401k, didn't have anything put up, didn't have any insurance. They were just winging it. They were like, okay, I had my wife's insurance, and I had my partner's insurance, and they took me off, or now we're not together. We got divorced. I had to get a job. I need insurance. The money wasn't the issue. It was the health care. Because when you're 20, 23, 24, 26, 20, it's not a big deal. When you're 44, 45, it starts to become more important, because you need a tune up every once in a while. And depending on how you lived in your 20s, your 40s and 50s are going to be a little bit challenging, or not. Everybody's different. So that's all I can say, is just everybody makes those best decisions. This makes the best decisions for themselves. So I know some guys who switched up and got on the books, so to say, as far as those things are concerned, because that was the best thing for them. You got to do what's right for you. And I don't really get into the issues of how much it costs and the health care and all that other stuff, because everybody's situation is different. And the information's out there if you need to find it. That's not what we do here. But if you need information about bread, we got you. You need information about an independent route, we got you. You need help with learning how to put bread on the shelf and make money from it, we got you. Definitely. So that's what we do over here. Real Bread League, real bread logistics, living a real bread life. So why Pepperidge Farm bread routes are so expensive? Why are Pepperidge bread routes so expensive? Because that's just the bar that they have set for themselves. They are an expensive bread, and they're kind of exclusive. It's hard to get in. Their process is tough as well. And not to say that, Bimbo or Flowers is not going to do a background check and, run you through the process. But Pepperidge Farm is very, very, excuse me, it's very detailed. And yeah, the routes are expensive. They just always have been. They always have been, and it's a process. But if you're looking at a route or you're interested, let us know. And my guys, we know some people over there. Okay. Excuse me. Not me personally, but I know a guy. And I am not lying. Name a company that delivers bread. I know a guy that, if you need the information or if you need to speak with someone and you're interested, real interested, not just want to ask questions. If you really want to get in there, we could help with that. And it doesn't cost anything. You don't have to give any of us, any money or anything monetarily. We just know people that are willing to help people that are serious about getting into the business, because that's what we are, serious about getting people into this business. I love for people to get into it and stay in it. Unfortunately, that's not always the case. And I was talking today about one of my guys that I was just so, yeah, I wish, that when people get in, they stay in, but it doesn't always happen that way. And it's unfortunate. There is a life to be built around the business if you can figure out where to start placing the blocks and the foundation. A lot of times people want to just go right to the top and they don't secure the bottom. You have to get the foundation solid so you can start building. And that's what we're here for. We're here to build with you so you don't have to struggle alone. All right. So, anybody needs that help, let us know. I got you. We got you as a collective. So anybody needs to get into the group, it's Real Bread Life. Hold on one second. I'm sorry, I'll be missing these. I hear Pepperidge Farm gets full commission on promotions and BOGOs. At Flowers, they take out allowances for those things. I think all companies, if I'm not mistaken, and somebody from I will have to get my guy from Pepperidge Farm up here because I don't even know if what if that's true or not. But what I do know is that on the BOGO, if you try to bring it in, if you front load, that you can get a breach letter in our company. If you bring the product in when it's not on sale and it's going on, bring it to the store, wait for the sale to come on that Thursday or Monday, whatever. They don't like that. They catch you front loading heavy like that, you will get a breach letter. As far as the commission, I'm not sure. I would have to check. I'm not really sure. And the reason I don't deliver Thomas like that to where the BOGOs and BOGO tools and things like that. The one store that I have that I bring Thomas product in, they don't do BOGOs. They just do straight, sales. So I'll check with my partner on that one and see how that goes. That's a good question. I would like to know. And I'll check if there was a flowers guy up here. Let me see. Go back. Oh, no. Okay. Because there's usually Clinton and Jay Moore and yeah, but I'm not sure. It's a good question though. That's a very good question. I would definitely would like to. I'm gonna find out. Um, yeah, that's a good question because that off of BOGO that's all the money. If they're taking the money, like that's all the money, pretty much. It defeats the purpose of going through the whole process. Flowers loves to take whatever allowance they can get out of us. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. Let me ask you this. So I don't know where if you said where you're located at, Alex, but did they take the cake away from you as well? I'm pretty sure. I think that was across the board, right? With all Flowers product, they took the cake and they're direct shipping that. I'll put the link in the chat box if you wanna come on if you're in a good spot and you gotta and you have an option to come on. So just let me know. But yeah, let me know where you're located, Alex. So what was the other thing I wanted to talk about? Oh yeah, that was it. I talked about the fact that it was gonna be maybe some more snow. people already spent a lot of their money preparing for the last snowstorm, but excuse me, life of a bread man sneaks up on you. Um, I wouldn't get too worried about people not having money to spend again. For some reason, like I always say, people find the money to buy the things that they need. They feel like they need more bread, they're gonna buy it. More milk, more eggs, and more things to just stock up. So I wouldn't be too worried about it. We got we got what's this, the 29th? 2, 3 days. So I think the first is Monday. I'm sorry, Sunday, 29, 30th, 31st. Yeah. So Saturday's the 31st. Sunday is the first. And then we're in February. It's moving right along. So we say, oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You still got the tasty cake, but they're uh they're direct shipping it. They're direct shipping the Wonder Cake. Okay. All right. That's what it was. Yeah, like I said, the couple other guys, Jay and Clinton were talking about that. So you're in VA. That's the what part of Virginia are you in? If you don't mind me asking. They created a Wonder Cake line and cut us out and ship it directly to stores to directly compete with our already existing tasty cake that we still carry. Yeah, that was a couple months ago. The guys were up here and we were talking, we were chopping it up, talking about that, which is crazy. And I think that moving forward, that's one of the things that I think all the companies are trying to do. We have this thing right now where we've talked about it before. We're going to talk about it some more as it moves into maybe closer to happening, but the merger of the routes and the product on one truck, and as it pertains to Beanbo as a company, and they're working on putting everything on one vehicle. Company trucks are going to be moving in that direction very soon. They're still trying to work out the kinks for the independent owners over some time as far as the relationship between the company and the independent owners and getting that done. We'll get into that maybe a little bit next week. But next week we're going to talk more about next Sunday, which is going to be the Super Bowl, and we'll get into that part a little bit. But I want to thank you, Alex, checking in from Nova, VA, which is about 30 miles from DC. Okay. I got a definite love for VA, man. That's where my peoples are. I love it down there. And glad you checked in. Appreciate the love, brother. Thank you so much, man. So I appreciate you checking in. Thank you. How you say that? Navigiro? Naviro. I think so. Flint Marco, my man Los. What's that? Cole Hammer. RCC. And I see you over there. Carrie on Instagram, Scott Farkas and Sweet Cookies, and everybody else. If you're on Twitch and any other platform, I appreciate you checking in. Thank you for taking the time out of your evening and sharing it with us. We are on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Twitch. Appreciate the love. Again, hold on. We got a new comment right here. Ivan, that's what I'm talking about. Thank you. That's what I needed. I needed to know. So Ivan, appreciate you checking in. And no, thank you guys. The people that come on the live and interact is why I do it. This is why we're here. If you ever want to get on, I put the link in the chat. If you want to get on, you want to chop it up with me offline and not on the live, I'm available. We'll set up a time and then we could work on if you want to get on the live. So I am Jug. I like to thank everybody for taking the time out and sharing their evening with us. This is Real Bread Life with the Real Bread League using Real Bread Logistics. That's all I got for now. Stay blessed and keep stacking.